Porco Rosso has got to be one of the most underrated Ghibli movies out there. It's got everything from fun, inspiring adventures to pigs who can fly seaplanes, to this underlying emotion of real sadness about aging and the cost of war without ever getting too heavy-handed, which is a really rare tonal balance in the world of Ghibli movies. It's also what inspired today's dish, with a scene where our protagonist shares a meal and dines on what appears to be a spaghetti bolognese, a classic Italian comfort dish that's relatively simple to make and a great way to serve enough food for multiple people. So let's do it. To start, we'll need the foundational flavor base by prepping a few vegetables to create a holy trinity of flavor. Specifically in this case, it's onions, celery, and carrots. So using a chef's knife, we'll finely dice a carrot, some celery, and of course some onion. Once those are all chopped up, here we have the basis for our bolognese sauce. The other vegetable component we'll need is the tomato. Now you can certainly use fresh tomatoes, but here I have a can of whole peeled San Marzano tomatoes that I think will go nicely in this dish. Into a pan goes some oil to heat up, and then we can add in the onions to first sweat those down till they're soft and translucent. Once those are good, we can add in the carrots and the celery, stirring all those to combine and cook them until the vegetables are soft and you get this fragrant smell wafting from it. Now I like to pour the red wine in next so I can specifically cook off some of the alcohol since it can be a little strong for myself, but normally you would do it by putting it in after the beef to deglaze. Either way works at the end of the day. Next, we want to add in some ground beef. We want to cook it through and use the wooden spoon to make sure it ends up into small pieces. And then we can add in our can of whole peeled tomatoes. And we don't waste food here, so into the can goes a little bit of water that gets swirled around and then poured back into the sauce. That way we can get all the remnants of the tomatoes from the can into the sauce. We can also add some dried oregano and tomato paste as well for extra flavor. Then we let this cook down, stirring occasionally and using the wooden spoon to help break the tomatoes into smaller pieces if needed. Once good, we'll let this simmer for at least 30 minutes, but we can simmer for much longer to get the flavors to mesh together. And then make sure to season with salt and pepper to taste periodically. Once closer to eating time, we cook some spaghetti in a pot of boiling water that we salted until al dente. Oh, and almost forgot to toss in some fresh parsley and basil at the end for some greenery in the sauce, but completely optional. To serve, I mixed together a little bit of the sauce with the spaghetti and then transferred it onto a plate like a mound from the scene in the movie. There's easier ways to do it than how I did, but this is what happens when you get impatient and just want to dig in. And of course, we want to top the spaghetti with a nice serving of that nice bolognese meat sauce. And to serve, I have some nice Parmesan cheese that I grated right onto the dish. And here we have a plate of spaghetti bolognese inspired by Studio Ghibli's Porco Rosso. So how does it taste? It's a classic Italian pasta dish. It's got this really nice hearty tomato meat sauce that has great texture from the softened vegetables, but also some really nice flavor and aromatics from the wine and herbs and seasoning that we added in. The sauce also clings very nicely to the pasta without pooling. It's comforting and rustic without being too heavy or mushy and leaning into that warmth and layers of flavor. The kind of dish where the ingredients have time to meld and evolve by getting to know each other rather than suddenly showing up on a plate. It's the sort of homestyle meal you want to share with others, and it definitely made its way to the Committee for Leftover Prevention. With that, please subscribe and hit the like button to support this channel. And let me know in the comments what else you think I should make. Until next time, thanks for watching.